Hello and welcome to the program today. I'm Layo Olarinde. Let's begin in Sudan, where at least 21 people have died from cholera within a week following an outbreak that has enveloped the country. According to the Health Ministry, over 2,000 infections were also recorded in a week. Since the outbreak in August 2024, the country has seen thousands of deaths and infections. In addition to cholera, the conflict in North Darfur has intensified, putting the lives of more than 640,000 children under the age of 5 at heightened risk of violence, disease and hunger. In the meantime, the United Nations Food Agency has warned that families trapped within the besieged Sudanese city of El Fasher in Darfur face starvation. The World Food Programme, WFP, said it had not been able to deliver food to the city in the western Darfur region by road for more than a year. El Fasher has been surrounded by paramilitary fighters from the Rapid Support Forces RSF for nearly 16 months, determined to seize the city from Sudan's army. Well, still on Sudan, the army chief, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has vowed to keep fighting the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF until their defeat. He was speaking to supporters in the Al-Gheriza state. He's also ruled out any form of discussion with the RSF, saying there is no room for negotiations with them. Meanwhile, the army is accusing the United Arab Emirates of deploying Colombian mercenaries to fight alongside the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces in the country's civil war. The Foreign Ministry, in a statement, says it has irrefutable evidence that Colombian fighters and others from neighboring African countries are being sponsored and financed by the Emirati authorities. However, the UAE has denied this claim, calling them baseless and an attempt to derail peace efforts. Abu Dhabi says it remains committed to a transition process that reflects the aspirations of the Sudanese people. Well, there has not been any response yet from Colombia. We are in Cameroon now, where the Constitutional Council has dismissed an appeal lodged by opposition candidate Maurice Kamto to have his name reinstated on the ballot for the October presidential election. Last month, Cameroon Electoral Commission (ELECAM) announced the decision to remove opposition leader Maurice Kamto from the list of the approved presidential candidates during a meeting in Yaoundé. Well, Mr. Kamto fought back, filing an appeal at the Constitutional Court. His lawyer, Menkem Soter, has criticized the Constitutional Council decision, saying this decision is more of politics than the law. During the last elections back in 2018, Mr. Maurice Kamto came in second with 14.2% of the vote, losing against President Paul Biya, who won his 7th mandate and has been in power for over 3 decades.
Il y a lieu de déclarer leur requête recevable comme introduite dans les formes et délais de...
Éclairer davantage votre lanterne pour que votre décision soit la meilleure possible. Je ne vais pas ici, ça n'est pas le lieu, ça n'est ni...
Ghana's President John Mahama believes African nations have a shared purpose in leading the reform of the global healthcare system, which he says has excluded the continent's voice. Speaking at the Africa Health and Sovereignty Summit in Accra, President Mahama points to mounting global challenges such as wars and economic volatility as factors that are undermining the region's health structures. While other speakers at the summit, including the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, warned that millions of people are missing care, even as international cuts to foreign aid continue to undermine healthcare systems. Also, the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, echoed these sentiments, stressing the need for global partnerships, solidarity, cooperation, and collaboration.
And widening inequalities, and these are not just testing our systems in India.
In particular, should give us something to cheer about, something to give us hope and something that can lead us to where we need to go in the fractured global health situation that we are in now. But we need health fund for Africa. Global, I believe at the global level, we should have health security for all. Health security for all. Here in this country, some time ago, the slogan was Ghana Beyond Aid. I believe the slogan for us should be now Africa Health Without Aid. But
to heal
with global
and reimagine what our healthcare systems can be. This summit comes at a time of overlapping and intensifying global crises. We have wars, we have pandemics, we have climate shocks, we have economic volatility and widening inequalities. And these are not just testing our systems, indeed they are exposing where the fault lines are. The world has changed, but global health governance has not kept pace with the changing world. At this moment, we're called to redesign the architecture that has for far too long excluded Africa's voices, excluded Africa's needs and innovations. We're called to build systems that do more than respond to crisis. We must build systems that generate resilience, produce equity, and amplify dignity of our people.
As Lagos State joins the rest of the world to mark the 2025 Breastfeeding Week, the state government has called on the private sector to prioritize breastfeeding by creating sustainable support systems for nursing mothers. The state's special advisor on health, Dr. Kemi Ogunyemi, made this known during a press conference in commemoration of this year's Breastfeeding Week-long activities. She emphasized that exclusive breastfeeding is safe, cheap, very important for the growth of every child. It has no side effects and it also helps to prevent breast cancer.
The theme for the year 2025 World Breastfeeding Week is prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support systems. This highlights the need to improve awareness about the long-term health benefits of exclusive breastfeeding for both mothers and children, as part of ongoing efforts towards reducing under-5 mortality rates. It is also to foster a very supportive environment for mothers, especially the working moms, ultimately enhancing the well-being of both mothers and their babies. It is our collective responsibility to see that every nursing mother has access to the support and information she needs to breastfeed by investing strongly in maternal, infant and young child nutrition strategies and practices to support and empower women. Though the state being at 57.4% exclusive breastfeeding rate has surpassed the global target of 50%, there is still room for a lot of improvement. However, the early initiation rate of 14% is very low, which is putting baby to breast within the first 1 hour of birth. This accounts for low immunity in neonates when colostrum, that is the yellowish milk, is missed, coupled with inappropriate breastfeeding practices such as the introduction of infant formula. To this effect, the state government, under the able leadership of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the executive governor of Lagos State, is not relenting in its efforts to supporting the practice of breastfeeding towards the survival of under-5 children.
Joining us now for more on this is Lola Alonge, founder, Child Health Advocacy Initiative. She joins us via Zoom here in Lagos. Thank you for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you, Laia. I'm happy to be with you today. Happy World Breastfeeding Week.
Happy World Breastfeeding Week. We cannot exhaust the discussions on, the importance of breastfeeding to the child and the mother. And we know there are existing government and workplace policies in place. But looking at the theme for this year, prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support systems. Are these policies really adequate in supporting the breastfeeding mother?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the theme this year, creating a sustainable support system for mothers. I will tell you out there, mothers really want to breastfeed, but the situation is not so convenient for them. That's why we have to start with places like the family. What kind of support is the mother getting from the family? Looking at the husband, is the husband giving enough support? Talking about does the woman have to start worrying about how to get money to feed herself? We expect the family, the husband, to make sure the mother is okay. She has enough food to eat. The husband can help at home with the other children or with the housework. Even as far as even emotional support, patting her at the back, encouraging her while she's breastfeeding. This goes a long way because even research has proven that when a woman is being supported, especially by the husband, and she's happy to breastfeed, and that makes her to lactate better, and the breastfeed comes out better. Then also looking at the workplace, I'm happy in Nigeria, for example, there's a lot of improvement now. We have about 23 states out of 36 states that have about 6 months maternity leave in place. That's progress. And I think just about last week, Kebbi State actually just joined the state. We're hoping more states would join. So, which means we're looking towards the private sector so that a lot of mothers can also benefit from 6 months maternity leave. But the good news also is that there's a bill already with the House of Assembly trying to make it mandatory for big organizations to have 6 months maternity, to give 6 months maternity leave to mothers, and also have places where mothers can breastfeed, like a crèche or a lactation room and things like that. Then also with the health workers, where there's a lot of progress, there's a lot of support from the health facilities. Even my organization, Child Health Advocacy Initiative, is giving a lot of support by having a platform we call Child Nurturing Moms, where we engage and educate the mothers and counsel them on breastfeeding. We have even trained quite a number of experienced mothers to be peer mother supporters, and they go out there in the community and support mothers there. Then also with the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes, which is like most times they kind of deceive the mothers and say breast milk formula is the same with breast milk, which is not true. So the good thing is NAFDAC also just constituted like some committees in some states now, and the committee is supposed to enforce this code to make sure they monitor the marketing of breast milk substitutes. So there's a lot going on, especially in Nigeria, and I think there's progress, and then this will go a long way to increase the breastfeeding rate. For example, in Lagos State, I was happy to hear 57%, that is progress. In Nigeria, generally, it's still a little bit low, but we hope other states would buckle up here.
Yes, I was going to ask you, looking at the global trends, how would you describe the current state of breastfeeding across the continent now compared to the global trends?
Yeah, Africa is really doing very well. The statistics I have about Rwanda, for example, has about 87% exclusive breastfeeding rate, which is good news. Countries like United Kingdom, Ireland, the USA they have as low as 20% or lower. So you can see Africa is really doing very well, and Nigeria is not left behind either. We are really putting in a lot of measures to make sure mothers are supported to breastfeed exclusively.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Lola Longe, founder, Child Health Advocacy Initiative. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back to the program. We continue here in Nigeria, even as several states across the country contend with the devastating impact of flooding. The Delta State government has launched proactive measures to protect its coastal and riverine communities from potential flood disasters. Through its intervention agency, the Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, DESOPADEC, the state has commenced large-scale clearing operations in vulnerable areas.
Flooding remains a persistent crisis in the country. According to this year's forecast by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, 1,249 communities across 176 local government areas, including the Federal Capital Territory, have been identified as high-risk flood zones. Delta State is one of them. In response, the Delta State government has ramped up its flood mitigation efforts, focusing on the clearing and expansion of drainage channels in oil-producing communities such as Warri, Efrun, Udu, Ugeli, Saple, Kwale, Agbo, and Isoko. These proactive steps aim to reduce the impact of rising water levels and ensure better protection for lives and property. Mr. John Nani, alongside other members of the Supadec team, are on site, supervising flood control operations, digging deep into blocked drainage channels to restore proper water flow. During the inspection, the team asked residents to report illegal activities and avoid dumping waste in canals, emphasizing the crucial role of community support in sustaining flood mitigation efforts.
By the time they really dump waste here, or allow others to drive in, because we as we go around, some persons are saying the people will drive down to dump in waste in the night. If they allow it, they should know that they will be the people to be affected, not really government.
Amid the interventions, some community members expressed mixed reaction, acknowledging the positive impact, while also pointing out ongoing challenges.
In those days, before when they rain for all the Odibo, Airborne is flooding. But now if they clear this place, the water will be less because the water will have easy movement to the main river.
In Agbo, the Supadec Managing Director, Mr. Festus Ochonogo, was also on ground, overseeing the operations and encouraging residents to support the government's environmental agenda.
What we are doing here is the sitting of the drains, more of drains now, and so far so good. The people that are here, our team that is here, they have done well, and you have seen for yourself.
According to the Commission's schedule, the ongoing flood control will extend to Ika north, east, and south, as well as Ndokwa, Kwale, Omutu, and Obiaru.
Citizens of Malawi and Zambia will be facing a $15,000 deposit for a tourist or business visa following a United States proposal that requires applicants for these visas to post a bond of up to $15,000 to enter the country. In a notice published in the Federal Register, the department says it would start a 12-month pilot program under which people from countries deemed to have high overstay rates and deficient internal document security controls could be required to post bonds of $5,000, $10,000 or $15,000 when they apply for a visa. The proposal comes as President Trump's administration is tightening requirements for visa applicants. The UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office has announced the opening of applications for the prestigious Chevin scholarships to study in the UK. Registration is now open from today, the 5th of August, from the 5th of August till the 7th of October 2025. Well, the UK office says the Chevin program offers fully funded master's degrees at UK universities to individuals who can clearly demonstrate outstanding leadership, influence and networking skills through compelling evidence-based examples. For more than 40 years, Chevin has attracted hundreds of thousands of applications globally. According to Richard Montgomery, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Chevin is more than a scholarship, but a gateway to a global network of leaders, innovators and change makers. Since the program started in 1983, over 60,000 professionals have advanced their careers through Chevin, demonstrating the UK's commitment to developing the leaders of tomorrow. South African scientists have launched an anti-poaching campaign in which rhino horns will be injected with a radioactive material. This radioactive material will allow customs officers to detect smuggled horns as they are transported across the world. A group from the University of the Witwatersrand says the process is harmless to the animals. The university's venture is called the Rhizotope Project and was launched after 6 years of research and testing.
We're putting small amounts of radioactive material into the horns of the rhino, and it makes it so much easier to detect these horns as they're moved across international borders. Irrespective of how that horn's transported across border, if it's in a suitcase or in a container, we will detect it, the alarms will go off, and we'll catch it. By making the horns radioactive, we are making those horns, devaluing those horns in the eyes of the poacher and the end users. No one wants a radioactive horn.
All these rhinos are here because they were orphaned because their mothers were shot. They were poached because of the value of the rhino horn. Now with the Rhizotope project, you can't take that horn anywhere. It is radioactive. You can't take it through any airport, any harbor, any customs office. Sirens go off. It is wonderful. I'm telling you, this could be the holy grail to save the species.
Nigerian poet, human rights activist and Pan-Africanist Mariam Bukar Hassan, also known as Al-Hani Slam, has been appointed as the United Nations' first ever global advocate for peace. She hails from Borno State here in Nigeria. Her advocacy intensified after witnessing the hardships in her home region, especially the devastating impact of the Boko Haram insurgency. Al-Hani Slam uses her platform to champion women's rights, youth empowerment and peace building in communities impacted by violence and displacement. Well, congratulations to her. And as we end the program, here's our fun fact about the continent for today. Did you know that the Congo River is the deepest river in the world, reaching depths of up to 720 feet? This immense depth, along with its considerable length and the vast Congo River basin, makes the Congo River a significant geographical feature in Central Africa. The Congo River is also the second largest in Africa, surpassed only by the Nile River. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. And that's it on the program today. Thank you for watching. I'm Layo Olarinde.